Hello, hello, hello. Are we working this time? Yes, it looks like we are. Welcome back to the Virgo Channel. I'm sorry about that. Every now and again, my phone likes to hook on to my computer. And I'm talking, and then all of a sudden I look in the comments and I see that you have no sound. So, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play it as karmic themes, to allow you to understand why everything's happening the way that it is. You know, really important because the majority of times we are connecting to a karmic mate and not like a soul partner. So karmic mates, there's a lot of love. It's not like there isn't. However, there's also a lot of wounds. There's a lot of, so understanding why the universe is bringing you this person or why you have such a strong connection with someone is allows you to look at your situation differently, and that's what healing is. There's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on the experiences that you live that create the core beliefs that are in alignment with your habits and your behaviorisms, and that is what creates your karma. So understanding how you contribute to the imbalances in your connection allows you to integrate the spiritual lesson so you can quantum jump into the reality that you actually want to experience. That's what healing's about. Healing's about seeing a different perception. And so even though you may see the different perception, and that's healing all in itself, because you can say that, well, this is not a personal thing, this is your issue. You put that negative energy back on that person. It's, you have to do something with the negative energy. Just because the experiences have uh, you learned, what are you going to do with the pent up negative energy? People tend to think, oh, well, there is no energy. No, if you lived in an environment that you built up a lot of anger, there's still anger even when you move out of that experience. See, your energy is your psychological and your emotional energy. You're only in physical form to learn. So when the spiritual lesson isn't integrated, we can still we're still going to attract the same types of people. We may be able to handle the situation differently, but we don't want to keep attracting the same types of people. When you change your consciousness, you change your outer world experiences. So that's really the reason why we do these. However, there is an ego part of ourselves, and we always want to know what that person is feeling, what they're going to do. And then we want to feel as if we can make the right decision. And the right decision is one that obviously we avoid negative karmic consequences. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you need to be open to getting shadow reading. You need to be open to getting it done live. I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone. So you get the free reading, I get to expose the channel, and collectively people are able to, again, utilize the information to help heal themselves. Again, what's best for everyone. If you want it private, you can send me your questions the day before, but I don't need questions because I channel the entire time. I pull a card here and there to prove what I'm channeling, but I don't really need cards. That's the thing. I did create an oracle system though, because I had to create something. People like to see something, but really spirit speaks to us directly through claircognizance, clairsentience, clairvoyance, and we all have it. If you lived in survival long periods of time, you know what I'm talking about. You don't live from the logical mind, you live from the instinctual mind. It's the energetic, being able to read energy. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. Oh, and by the way, if you're chosen, you know it if I chose you because it says winner underneath your comment. You need to reach out to me through email. If you don't reach out to me through email, then I don't see your comment. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're not going to be notified. So you have to be subscribed to the channel. Not to mention it's good karma. And for those of you that need coaching, which I almost forgot, my live coaching is open again. The link is in the description box along with all other important information. My coaching program includes inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, life coaching. So you're getting plan. to start on your soul's path. You may say, I don't know what my soul's path is. Well, every life coaching starts off with the psychic soul reading that tells you what your behaviorisms, habits are that are blocking you, and what you need to do to create balance first and foremost, and then what your soul's path is. And so you want to be a clear conduit for spirit to speak. And there's homework that you get to develop your psychic abilities more. There's a lot of, we're all born with them. We tend to grow away from them so we can feel what we feel, but people then don't listen to what they feel. And then that's the problem, and sometimes the environment will make you feel that way. I'm kind of feeling like that's the way. You know what? I believe in no mistakes. So spirit's saying, oh, when there was no sound before, that's like you're connected to a person that keeps on getting blocked. And then they're also in an environment where they're not listening to their intuition. Their intuition knows. So you're connected to somebody that I feel like is in an environment where they're not listening to themselves. Like they're completely in their ego logic, and they're coming from fear-based consciousness. That's why people do that. Overstimulated. What did I tell you? I knew it. Overstimulation is too much thought, too much emotion held in the body as stress. We get stuck in the frozen and the fight, flight, freeze. So I believe that you're connected to someone that is highly sensitive, but they're highly sensitive due to the environment. So it doesn't mean they want to be an empath. If anything, they showed the exact opposite traits of an empath. But I feel like it's that this person, you're dealing with someone that's not healed. Someone that gets overstimulated always feels inadequate, because always when they need to be able to tap into themselves and react the proper way, they don't. They get in their own way, because too much thought, too much emotion creates that. Just like too much excitement creates that sometimes. Or just if you get freaked out, and that highly sensitive people have it. It's just a sensitivity in the nervous system. So sensitive people tend to be smarter people. Understand that, because they're more thorough. However, if they're not confident, people can read that. They can intuitively pick that up and trip this person up. So I feel like you're dealing with someone that doesn't trust themselves, because again, they're overstimulated. For complete advice, I always give advice. at the end of the reading of why you attract the person into your life and what were the spiritual things that you needed to learn because of that. It's again, there's always an integration process in these readings. That's why they're longer. They have a therapy style to them. And it's not like it's a one size fits all, like for a karmic for a Virgo. Every person's situation is different. So the karmic situation is different. See, this is merciless forgiveness. This is a huge one for a lot of people. If you grew up in an environment where parents, were not nice, where they were problems. So again, that the person didn't feel safe. This person did not feel safe. And I feel like you have a lot in common with this person. Like there's a lot of the same traits, but we want to understand why the person that you're connected to is acting the way that they are acting towards you. That's what you're looking for. It's like, because the karma is, I feel like I'm inadequate. I can know what I feel, but this person is not doing what I feel like they should do, and it's triggering me. It's usually if you have a connection to someone, there's a lot of unconditional love in the soul mate connections, all of them, past life, karmic mate. It's intense love. The person's been incarnating with you for many, 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 many lifetimes. So of course, anything that you do, it really doesn't matter. The love is still there. It can get toxic. And so where I feel like this person, you're surrounded by, this person that's connected to you is overstimulated because they don't trust themselves, but it started a long time ago. So they have an imprint, and they have an imprint of needing forgiveness. And that forgiveness is because I feel like they grew up in a very traumatic environment. psychologically and emotionally, which again made them sensitive. And so the thing is, the lesson for you and this person, the underlining energy here is learning forgiveness, meaning they have a hard time with forgiveness. And part is not just forgiving the parent or you, but themselves, yourself. And that's to be again by feeling inadequate, feeling like there's something wrong. That's what this person feels, that there's something wrong with them, because every time it's time to perform, to act, to be able to think, they can't tap into themselves because of the overstimulation. So it's almost like if you're looking at them, they're going to look like they're stupid, like you're frozen, you're not doing anything, you don't care. Yeah, well, this person is frozen and they're not showing emotion because again they learned to do that also in childhood, where I'm not going to show any vulnerability, because the more vulnerable that I show, the more terrorized I get. And that could be, don't cry, stop acting that way, don't, which again, a lot of projection. When there's an imbalance with the parents, they project onto the children. So I feel like there's a lot in common that you feel like you and this person have. So there will always be with the past life karmic mate as well as the twin flame. The only difference with the twin flame and a karmic mate is that the twin flame in this lifetime or whatever lifetime decides to step into their divine being. That's the only difference. Again, if you've incarnated many, many lifetimes, so there's a very strong connection here, but there's also like a lot of like you don't understand why this person does what they do. Is what I'm getting. We're going to see how it plays out with how they made you feel. Sorry, I am on so much allergy medicine that I have to like drink. All right. You'd think everything would be dead here, like that allergies wouldn't be existing, but then the dry air from the heat does it. All right. Constrained. I feel like in order to be with this person, you felt like it was very one-sided. You would have to give up like your power. And I feel like the reason why is because I feel like this person is surrounded by people that they give up their power. You know, and we've had that before. Hello, Doris and Lars and Vinji. Okay. Like weary, and it's making them tired. It's making them exhausted. And I feel like being with them, that's how they made you feel. So they projected a lot of what they were going through, I feel like, onto you. It's like they couldn't tell you. I feel like they couldn't tell you what they were going through. It's like because a long time they were living in denial, like that they even had to like change anything. So I'm feeling like you're connected to someone that's connected to somebody else that they don't want to be with. It's like, and the connection is not a good connection at all. And, but, you know, being that they're connected to someone else, that they're constrained and they give up too much of their power. That person we're going to call a karmic, but doesn't mean that they're necessarily a karmic. It could mean that this person's been in a relationship that's been dead with a person for a long time. However, they get manipulated a lot and guilted a lot, and they get overstimulated because they know what this person is saying is true. Meaning, like, I feel like they've cheated. They haven't been there. They haven't shown up. What a bad person that they are. No one's going to really love this person. Like, you know, so like this karmic knows that your person wants to leave, but they're trying to emotionally manipulate them, and they know how. They again invade their space. They terrorize this person where it overstimulates them. So for a long time, your person has always known that who they're connected to is a bully when they don't get what they want. It's not like this is, you know, a first time thing. So it was a long time that they lived in denial, where they were like, I'm not really with that karmic, but they are with that karmic, even though they may not be intimate with that karmic, sleeping with that karmic still holds a place. So thing is, the person tries to figure out how to get out of their situation and they can't. It makes them tired. It makes them lethargic. Now, from the flip side, I feel like they were connected to you and they have a lot of feelings for you. However, in the back of the mind, the karmic is always there. They don't know how to get out of it. So it's almost like they were in denial, thinking that maybe they could be in two relationships at one time. But what happened is you saw through the illusion. You're like, I don't care that you think that it's a spiritual connection. You criticize this person because you're like, you called them out on their fear, really. And this person said that they were going to leave, that they were going to change things. I feel like they kept saying that they were. And I do feel like this person did live separate from that person for a long time. But now that karmic is like, oh, you're going to leave. Well, now they're dealing with resentment from all angles. So this is why they're overstimulated. They know that you're pissed off because you're like, what is that? Why even get involved with me? What was that? It's like, if you weren't going to be strong enough to get out of that situation, and the karmic is like, oh, you think you're going to get out of this situation? Well, you're not going to get out of this situation that easily. So, of course, the person's overstimulated. And so for you now, you're like angry because you're like, okay, you disrespected the connection. So again, the forgiveness is showing up here. And this person is like, the karmic is angry. So we can see the theme that forgiveness is definitely going to be played out, especially because when you were dealing with your person, they were prideful. And you felt like, well, what your interest is, you want to form like an attachment to me where I'm not getting my needs met. And that's really what it is. An attachment is, and that's what they have with that karmic at this point. It's not that they have an intimate connection, which is based on trust and love and all the higher energies. It's an attachment, which is the karmic is like, I want to not lose my money. I don't want to lose the facade. I don't want to lose whatever it is. I don't want to give up my place, my comfortability, even if they're not married. I don't want to live up my comfortability. I don't want to have to date anyone else. Whatever it is, they're like, I'm not giving up my spot. And this person is like, knows damn well who they've been connected to. And they brought you into that connection saying, well, they were leaving. And so what you see is, oh, so you're not leaving. So again, maybe you're a narcissist. So I feel like this person knows that that's the way that you're seeing them. So, and there's a sense of doubt. But the problem is now this person is feeling guilty and they feel hopeless because of their insecurity. So really, it's that they're in this really uncomfortable situation. Are they going to do anything else? Because we see what they did. We see what they're doing. They're frozen. So you're not seeing anything. You're seeing the person like spinning their wheels, trying to figure out how to get out of their situation. But they already know that they burned a bridge with you. And they're burning the bridge with a karmic. And it's almost like they feel like if they don't do anything, someone's going to do something, which is like the coward's way out, like what a narcissist will do, because I don't want to really feel bad about like of being the bad guy. See, when we get overstimulated, it's because we don't know what to do. And so you have to remember this, because this person is attached to you. There's passion, but they're attached to somebody else also. And really, that karmic is like, I know that there's somebody else there because you would be given into me. See, look at that thumb. See, that's validation. I don't know where the fuck that comes from, but it's again, this isn't live or anything. I don't know where that thumb came from. This isn't Zoom, but it does that. So it's, I see that as confirmation. It's like, I'm going to, not do anything. I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now, my life is too complicated to bring you into it. Know that I do want to talk to you. See, it's again, this person knows that you're like, well, like, what was that? Like, you came to me before that was ended. And, and that person is angry. So I don't want that person to think that, you know, they left you, that you left them for me. You had problems before that. It's like almost like you felt like this person, what were you trying to like have somebody like not fully end that connection and then be in a connection with me to like figure it out? Like, you're like, why wouldn't you have done it honestly? And so what this person is wants to explain that, and I think it's because they get overstimulated. They don't. They allow other people to manipulate them, emotionally manipulate them, like almost like this person's being punished for not loving that karmic. Like they've lived the lie long enough. They don't want to live the lie anymore, and that karmic saying, how dare you? You're such a bad person. You're such a like you're a liar. You're this. No one's gonna want you. And so being connected to someone like that for so long, this person already is insecure because what do you think that the person that never grows? They were growing, they were stifling themselves, they were ignoring their intuition. And that's why we get it overstimulated is that I know what I should do, but I can't do it. It's like I'm not going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to listen to my mind because, but I also know what I want. So it's like when they say your head and your heart are arguing, well, this person is doing the same thing, but with their own life. And so they're like, surrender brings us together faster than resistance. So this person knows that it looks like they're resisting the connection with you, but they're resisting their own freedom. They're resisting standing up to this karmic. Then that's why they're overstimulated. It's like I said, where they're not doing anything. So that's pissing the karmic off also, because the karmic is like, it's like you're here, but you're not doing anything. You're not participating. You're just taking up space, which is why the karmic says, I know that there's someone still there. So there's a lot of craziness where now this person's like listens to that karmic saying you're a loser, no one wants you. And now this person's like, I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope that you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting from fear. And they really were acting from fear because, like I said, it's like at one point, like we're not just overstimulated, like it's a coping mechanism, and all highly sensitive people have it. It's like, but some highly sensitive people inherit that trait, and other times you live in an environment that creates that. Either way, no one likes the frozen because it makes you feel inadequate. It makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. Because when it's time to perform, it's almost like you get in your own way. And it's because too much emotion, too much stress, it like almost shorts out the person. And so they feel like there's something wrong with them. So this person, the karmic, knows, again, has been around there for a while, knows what buttons to push to do that, which is usually just then comfortable for this person to give in, to be like I don't really want to deal with feeling uncomfortable, that uncomfortable feeling. I don't really want to deal with this. So they but the problem is like they know that the universe brought you guys together for a reason, and they're trying to discover what the reasons are. And I feel like that's going to help them leave, because being connected with the karmic is unfulfilling. There's a lack of passion, and you may think that you can live with a lack of passion. You can't. You know what happens? You begin to become a whore. You run around with a lot of different people. It's like depriving yourself of never ever ever having dessert again. It's like you can do it for a certain amount of time, or you can say, okay, I'm not even eating sugar. Like people can do it for a certain amount of time, but then if they even have a little bit of it, it's like they'll go completely overboard with it. It's like an alcoholic that forces himself not to drink. You can do it for a certain amount of time, but if that, lack isn't transmuted, like an alchemized, really, it's like you're just going to fall back to again craving that. So like I said, this person feels again that there's a lack in that connection with the karmic. They're noticing too the differences between you and this person. I don't feel like you're doing anything, and the karmic is saying what a horrible person that you are, and they're like, you're not even around. They don't know who you are. It's just the karmic knows that there must be somebody, so they're going to just say whatever they can say to brainwash this person, because they know that this person is not strong with themselves. So again, that they get overstimulated. Sometimes I feel like you're speaking to me in my head and it triggers me because I wonder how much you can see into me. So again, triggers them because it's like they know that I don't think that they really know whether or not you know what they're going through. However, you do know them, there is a strong connection. So, and you know that they're not really emotionally intelligent. And if you knew that there was a person in their life, you kind of already know, like, you're wimping out. You're wimping out. It's like you're being subservient, and it triggers this person because they know it's true. Otherwise, you wouldn't get triggered. So it's like, because they're like, I don't want to be seen as weak. It's like I don't want to seem as like I'm not a person, like I don't care about my life. It's like they're looking at things from your perception. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth afterwards. I'm not even sure why I said them. So I feel like this person is comfortable with you. They admire you. It's like they don't admire who they're with. It's like they're trapped. That's what it feels like. They're trapped. Like that person's a warden. That's what it feels like. And they're like, I don't want to be in it. But the dynamic of the situation, the universe would have to make it like this, because this person is like, unless they're so uncomfortable. Fear is a crazy thing. We can stay so uncomfortable because we're so terrified of like what the person might do, what they could do, what this might happen, what their life may look like. It's like the devil that you know is like, and but that's what Spirit's saying. It's like, you know what, the devil that you know is going to be like Satan himself. So you're eventually going to have to change, because I'm forcing you to change. You're ignoring me, God's saying. And that's why you're overstimulated. It's like you're ignoring the higher self. The higher self is your intuition that knows, that does what's best for everyone involved. And this person that's connected to you doesn't care whether you're happy or not. That's not normal. They're more in their ego, and they think that they've won for a very long time because they keep doing this. So it's Spirit saying, it's like the universe is like, I want to expose this person. So what this is saying now is that expand your concept of what a twin flame is. It's more than a romance. It's a deep soul activation to heal in order to embody love and light. Well, this person's not healed at all. Like that's connected to that karmic. So Spirit may be saying that this is a twin flame connection, that this person's supposed to step it up into this lifetime to be your twin, which is why there's such a strong soul connection, which is why this person knows that you like almost can feel that you can see into their mind, can read them, because you can. And that's why you're a loser. You're staying connected to a person that you don't want to. Like, stop wimping out. Do what you have to do. But like, it's again, if you wanted to stay with that person, then hell means stay with that person, but you don't. So don't do it for me, do it for yourself, is what you're like. And so this person is, again, it's a soul, they have the opportunity to do that. You show up in my dreams and it helps me process buried memories. So the universe is really like doing work like with this person, because it's like you should be like leaving. You should know who this person is. It's not like that relationship has been dead for a long time. You're not doing it justice. I feel like the karmic says, oh, it's the right thing to do. It's like you don't leave people, emotionally manipulates them to make them feel responsible for them. Like, it doesn't matter that you don't care. You do what's right. And what's right is that you stand by, if the person's married, you stand by that. If they have children, you keep the family together. Whatever the situation is, you try to make it work. And if you don't try to make it work, you're a horrible, mean person that needs to like suffer in hell. That's pretty much what this karmic says, because you never treated me right. You cheated, you ran, but really the karmic knew the whole time. It's like that this person wasn't happy and agreed to the connection being that way, and now is like so surprised. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, well, you should, after everything I've done for you. But the person's like, I didn't ask you to do any of that. It's like, you did it. And yes, we've had some good times and everything, but I never really wanted it. You made the entire connection, what the connection is. And because I never fulfilled, whatever it was, which is the list of characteristics that this person needed to present for this person to feel secure, they never could do it because it was never genuine. So the karmic is pissed because it's like, you're leaving for somebody else. It's like, because you wouldn't do this. You have to be leaving or wanting to leave because of somebody. So there's a lot of like fear and overstimulation because this person's like, I don't really know what to do. I'm beginning to focus on our mission, and our connection is part of that. Again, more very twin flamey connection. Of course, the universe is like, this person needs all the help that they can get. They're like being fooled like over and over, and it's not really fooled. It's like, because they know what they have to do. They're stuck and stupid. They're frozen. They're scared stiff. It's like, there's a reason why people are that way. You're welcome, Jay. But that's why, this person is like, and you're looking at them like, what the hell are you doing? I feel insecure and it's pushing me to grow. Well, hello. I mean, we know this. You're very insecure and it's triggering. It's triggering. And Spirit saying, well, then we got to look at your wounds, because why? That they're trying to work through their process, and that they're getting out of their situation, and they're saying, I realize the type of connection that this is. And I know that I wasn't right. I know I've hurt you, and I want to talk to you, but I can't right now because crazy bitch is around, or crazy is around. I have to, be careful, because I don't trust myself. I don't trust this person. I don't trust anything. Like, they feel like they're in a war zone, but part of that is just that fight, flight, freeze, where this person has had a lot of power over your person because of it. And so I'm listening to my higher self now, and it's guiding me. Well, thank God. And that's really what Spirit says. That's what it's all about. This person was in their ego, which is fear, the whole time, and was really able to listen, and was not listening to their intuition the whole time, which is why they felt uncomfortable. But they finally get to a place of surrender. Like, I'm tired of being in this insecure energy. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm not happy. I'm with the warden. I don't have freedom. I'm not allowed to think. I have to pretend in order to please this person. And it's like, so now it's like, they're like, I don't really have anywhere else to go. They've logicked themselves out. It doesn't make sense. They can't say, well, it's more comfortable, because guess what? Spirit says, oh, was it more comfortable to stay there? Is it? Oh, okay. Let me turn up the volume with crazy over here. It's like, because it's not going to be comfortable for you soon. Because that karmic is getting tired of you not giving them anything. They've been doing the whole thing themselves, and you want to leave for somebody else? Oh no, crazy's getting crazier. It's like, because now they feel used. Now they feel, but really, crazy is the one that made your person stay where they were to begin with, thinking eventually they would give in. They never gave in. Because they're like, well, I don't want to do it. Your person's like, I don't want to do it. I want them to like pull the plug on this connection. And that's why you're looking at them and you're like, the fuck? What do you think I got all day? It's like, what are you doing here? It's like, are you staying? Are you going? What are you messing with me now? It's like, where this person is just like their plan, their strategy. And in that, they weren't really thinking about you. They were thinking about crazy. How is crazy going to deal with me? And crazy knew this because crazy said, you know what? I'm going to make sure that wherever you go and you take a long time to get back to that person because that's the only ammunition I got. That's the only ammunition. I don't have any other ammunition. It's like, so I'm going to ruin your life. As twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others to do the same. I mean, this couldn't be any more twin flame connection, literally. I mean, it's like we're really spirit saying it's like this person needs to ascend. It's like, and what we see here is that they are really uncomfortable being in a karmic connection and never really knowing how to get out of it, never really being emotionally invested in it. And the karmic seemed to be okay with that as long as it looked a certain way. And now the threat of it all coming apart is like the karmic is like the only ammunition is, well, I'm going to overstimulate you. I'm going to tear you down so that you're not secure enough to leave. So emotionally, you feel like you've already ruined it with that person, wherever you were going, that you're wasting time. I'm going to play every trick in the book. I'm going to spend all my time, all my energy. But you know what happened? Your person's eyes got real wide to that karmic. Who the hell am I with? Who is this person? It's like the karmic exposed themselves because in that they weren't paying attention. They were just saying, I'm not getting what you're not giving in. You're not giving in. So I have to try this. I have to try that. I have to try this. I have to try that. And they got so caught up in the game that, your person's like, wait a minute, what's happening here? And I feel like it's creating a lot of like emotional, like even more emotional craziness, which is what's overstimulating your person. So they're overstimulated by what this karmic, who this karmic is turning into, which is they're saying, well, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my stuff? If we have children, what's going to happen? Like this is why a person's scared stiff. Like they're like, I don't really know what to do about this situation. I'm going to stay here and I'm just going to wait for the karmic to end it with me because, the sentence will be easier. It'll be clearly I just won't do anything. I'll hold back. Well, karmic is like, got wise. You're here, you're not doing anything, you're holding back from me, you think that it's like this. They're getting emotional, very overstimulating. I believe that even that karmic may be overstimulated. It's like your person just wants to belong. And that's the thing. It's like that's when it says what's driving them. It's like they want to get out of their old habits and get into their new habits. It's again, they realize. And I feel like for a long time they've already known that this connection is a very strong connection. It's a past life connection. So they may not know that it's a twin flame connection, but they just know that you're supposed to be in their life. It's a higher wisdom. It doesn't logically make sense. It's like my environment is shit. Like this is this person. It's like, I need to get out of here. It's like, they're looking around at everyone. They've had a connection to you. The whole time they've had plenty of time to, talk themselves out of it. I do believe it would have been easier for them to stay in this karmic connection with that person. The karmic is always one. So understand that the point that they're losing, they can't believe it. So they're getting more and more crazy. And like I said, it really exposed this person. And it's like your person just is like, I don't want anyone to be the authority over me. That's really what's making this person leave at this point. They're like, I want to, like, I can see like I wasn't in a healthy relationship. I was not in a balanced relationship. And that happens. Listen, a lot of times we enter into a relationship and we're insecure and we don't know that we're insecure. And we are attracted to someone that we perceive is strong. But again, we see that they're strong because there's such it's like more in the ego of strong, which then when you become stronger, now that strong person is not as strong. They get triggered by your strength. So I feel like that's kind of what happened with the karmic. It's like, and your person, and they just grew out of it. It was just easier to like, to stay connected. And the karmic was like, fine, they settled for it and they pretended it was okay as long as it continued. And we've been getting that theme like a lot lately. But I feel like the difference within this reading is that this person actually like opens their eyes and is like, my God, you're like, this is who I've been connected to. And I really know that who you are and why this person is getting pushed to do what they need to do. But know that a twin flame doesn't mean they're coming to you 100% healed. It means that they're ready to step up to be their divine being, which means you're going to have to give boundaries. It doesn't mean like, this person knows what to do. They were in an imbalanced connection. Remember that. It's like, and so they wouldn't know how to treat you. So I believe that partially you're going to have to teach this person how you want to be treated. And that means open communication. It means not like bossing the person around clearly, but how you treat yourself. You have to be mindful. Part of stepping into the best version of yourself is to be aware. And this could be in every relationship. I emotionally never get what I deserve. I always get people that don't want to acknowledge me, that tend to do whatever that they do to hurt me. It doesn't look the way it should. And so Spirit says, well, then I'm going to give you a person that you're going to need to teach. So you better be mindful of exactly what it is that you want. It's like, it doesn't mean that this person's ready to do it, but it means that you got to create that life that you want. And this person will follow suit. It's like, again, they were in a connection with somebody that controlled them. They don't want to give up their identity. Do they have a lot of their own identity? I feel like, no, they're not really that strong. But the difference is you're not telling this person. You're showing this person how you're treating yourself. And yes, you can guide the connection, but you're not like doing it the way that karmic did. Understand the karmic like didn't allow this person their unfoldment process, never allowed the connection. They came in and was like, this is the way it's going to be. And that created the intimacy issues. So the relationship was just built on passion. And then that passion died and there was no glue. With you, there's actually the spiritual connection. So they're going to do what you ask them to do. But I feel like it's how you treat yourself. It's you have to teach this person by being mindful. And that's a lot of times we're not mindful. And Spirit says again, self-love. This is what Spirit said again. Your inner child cards are this. So when we pull from the inner child cards, we see the same karmic themes continue to play out. And what Spirit's saying is self-love. Abandonment. So a lot of times if our parents abandon us, it's like we tend to look for that love outside of ourselves. And Spirit says, no, the answer is you got to love yourself first, because I'm inside of you as the gift of Spirit. You must love me first. And that's through loving yourself first. And you never show people that. As I said, that's why you'd have to do that, because you got a person here that does have feelings for you. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be smart. It means that they're going to trigger you. How do they trigger you? Because they don't know. It's like, and they don't think. And they don't think because it's, again, scared stupid. So it's not like they became somebody else. Remember. So abandonment, you're going to have to give yourself that self-love. Because, again, people make you feel unworthy of it. And that's emotionally, they don't show up. They don't treat me the way that I treat them. I always feel like I give more. And Spirit says, because you're focused too much on them. Spirit says, you got to focus more on yourself. Because again, they didn't earn that spot at the dinner table. I don't know why we're rolling out the red carpet for them. It's like they barely gave anything. It's like you cared so much. Oh, because they were insecure that there's the gifts and they're not coming into the car lot with only $100 saying, well, this is all I have. Again, they'd say, well, come back when you have the full amount. This again, so you come in broken, you don't get that much. You don't know what you want, you don't get that much. It's again, I give you very little if I give anything at all. So every time you text me, I'm not going to respond. You don't text that much anyway. And what you're texting is really, there's nothing here. You want to put your foot in the door. You got to figure it out. Yeah, no, I'm going to give myself that self-love. I'm not going to hold space for you because you're not going to make me feel unworthy. It's like I already lived that way. And I didn't ask to be born into the family that I was born into. This is what Spirit's saying. It's like, remember, you get the lessons from that family. And then you get the lessons from your own karma that you collect from those lessons if you haven't learned them. Did you learn that you're worthy? If the person doesn't show up for you, they abandon you because they can't figure it out, because, hey, they're afraid of somebody else. Really, like where it's like organized chaos. Like, and I feel like organized chaos could just mean that your mom was really emotional. Like, I mean, it could be any extreme to that, or it was just chaotic for whatever was going on in your life, in your family's life. But then it's like, you don't want to make your connection feel like that either. It's like that it should be comfortable. So, unworthy, you figured out how to make life work. And I think when you have to figure out how to make your own life work when you're a child with no guidance, that's chaos. You made it work, but you weren't taught about self-love. You, again, were taught that you were abandoned, and people that are abandoned tend to give too much to people that haven't earned it, because there's a feeling of, well, I get my love from giving, then I get it back. Because, and Spirit says that might have happened in childhood. That was a survival mechanism, but that's not what's going to happen now. It's like it doesn't work that way. It's like the person will take advantage. You're teaching the person not to respect you. And that's very overwhelming. It's again, I don't feel comfortable in this. I'm thinking too much about what this person is thinking, what they're doing, because they're not making me feel like stable in the connection. And that's what this person did. They didn't make you feel stable in the connection, because it's like, are you going to stay there? Are you going to come here? Do you really care about me? You're making me feel unworthy, because right there you're staying there. But really, Spirit's saying, but that's because this person was weak. It's not because of what you thought. It's like, it's about self-love. Did you give yourself the self-love? Again, where in your life could you have put time and energy, which would have resulted in self-love? Spirit saying, we're going to pull another one, just see what we come up with. Suppression, again, being in suppress yourself really by being connected to someone that couldn't. And you're like, but that was my person. And the Spirit says, yes, but it was, again, that's how it hurts. Because that's your person and they're not doing it, but you're looking at it like they're not doing it because of me. You're making me feel unworthy. Spirit said, no one can make you feel unworthy. That would have been there before. They activated that. And again, but it's due to their inadequacy. So yeah, they expected you to suppress yourself because they, again, are living suppressed. That's where they went wrong. That's, again, but they also need to learn self-love. They're learning it, but they're pushing it. They're learning it very uncomfortably because crazy is over there. And it's like they're being forced. Like, do I want to stay like in this situation, or do I want out? And what they're saying is, I want out. I don't want this. Like, you can't guilt me anymore. Like, I see what you're doing. I don't have to give up like who I am. I'm not the worst person in the world. It's like, it's making them see, but look what had to happen. They're living with a crazy person right now. Like, that's bipolar is all over the place. They don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. That's why they're overstimulated. The spirit just says again, they're going to come back to you before the winter months are over. Okay, that's the before the winter months are over, so you should be hearing from them soon. And they are going to, like, again, to finally express how they feel. They're going to speak the truth. All right, it says it right there. Speaking up, they're going to communicate finally. That's what's going to happen, and it's because again they're tired of being controlled. They're tired of being controlled. They're tired of living somebody else's life. You know, that karmic destroyed the connection. Ooh, they destroyed it. They burnt that shit to the ground. It's like, and that's what they don't realize. And them trying to keep that person like from not going. But they didn't understand they were fighting against a twin flame. So this is what this karmic is like. I don't get it. I did everything I should have worked. Everything. And you still holding on. It's like everything. And this person is like, no. It's like they're tired again of being controlled. They're learning to control themselves. They're becoming the master of their own energy. Okay. That's what's happening here. It's like this person, this karmic is actually pushing this person to step up into like their emperor energy, because they're like, it's like they got so uncomfortable. They gonna feel so sick. And then there's also I have passion, I have love for this person. It's like it's withstanding all of this. It's what exposed the karmic. Like I said, it was so it's pretty wild. It's like and I feel like there will never ever be another chance with that really karmic ever again, because whatever happened destroyed. It's their karma. Okay, it's their karma. It's like, it's just like you burnt your shit to the ground. Really, there's no chance of you ever going back because of your karma. And where I feel like this person has another thing and they have regrets and they plan on fixing it. It says it here, clean up. They want to clean it up. So like, because they know what they did. It's like, that's the only way that they're like, well, I have a chance. I can't go back in time to fix what I did. So it's going to require merciless forgiveness on your account. And it said that right from the beginning. It's like, can you forgive yourself? Will this person be able to forgive themselves if they lose you? This is the underlining energy. That karmic, forget it. They don't forgive anybody. They're pissed off. But understand that forgiveness means that you grew up in an environment too where, hey, well, this kind of karmic theme has played out already. So the integration that Vinyar had asked for in the beginning would be to give yourself the self-love, to put the energy into yourself where, wait, said you feel unworthy. It's like no one can make you feel unworthy. What was this person bringing you? They were bringing you a life. Well, Spirit says, how come you don't have enough of a life of your own? It's like, see, if you had enough of a life of your own, you'd be feeding yourself passionately. Again, part of you doesn't know where you want to even spend your time. Or again, are you on your soul's path? Are you even in alignment with, the laws of the universe, where you're doing what you love by giving and receiving of love? Are you connected to people that you love? Or do you have a lot of anger and resentment in there attached to other people that it doesn't need to be there, that you're creating blocks? You need to be a clear conduit, Spirit to speak. Again, that's how you clear out the fear. The fear of the unknown is really what this person was afraid of. A fear of, yeah, you're good, but hey, it might not work out. I might get someone worse than this person. Where really Spirit's saying that's their inadequacy, but they shouldn't have been able to make you feel unworthy. No one should be able to do that. And a relationship shouldn't feel overwhelming to you, where you're like, are you going to stay? Are you going to go? Do you like me? Do you not like me? So Spirit's saying, so you didn't listen to certain things. This overwhelmed energy and chaotic energy and suppressed energy, it was all negative energy, which you knew was happening. So that's when you needed to disengage. And now it might have been harder because, again, this soulmate twin flame connection. Spirit says, when you cut your energy off, that's now when they're thinking about it. That whole time you were there, well, it made this person comfortable to sit there and be like, I'm just going to sit here and like see how it plays out, because I don't know what to do. But they weren't thinking about you. You had to disconnect from this person in order for them to think about you. And then again, now there's a comparison. Now they're looking at everything, where this person was able to stay in denial about their situation until you removed yourself, is what Spirit said. So what you needed to do to get this person to move is what you need to do anyway to heal yourself. It's like when you do heal yourself, then this person, like I said, gets so uncomfortable that they actually step up into emperor or empress energy and understand that's because again they're like, I'm so angry and pissed off, and like I can't stomach this anymore. I can't live this way. They're so uncomfortable, and it's because stuck with crazy, you're moving on. Like again, and you put them in a situation like that instead of making it easy for them, which is what I feel like the karmic normally is able to get this person to do. Just stay connected to me, and you can take that person out, you can sleep with them, but stay connected to me. Where this, you're like, that's not happening. That's not happening. You have a choice. And then, of course, your feeling of, can I forgive you for being weak? Like for not being able to stand up, and that your love for me was not strong enough that you could walk away from that person right away. And then Spirit will say, well, that's a little bit your ego. But again, it's a truth. And if it is, that's this person's karma. So I believe that this person put themselves in a situation where, they believe it's a twin flame connection. But I want to see what you're supposed to do, because it's like, I believe that it could have been, like I said, they had an opportunity that they could have stepped it up. But as far as right now, they're like, just because you do it, you did all that. So Spirit's saying is like, once they tell you, they're going to try to explain to you, even though they don't want to explain to you. That's the irony. They don't want to tell you this. This is what they didn't want to tell you because they looked weak. Now they're going to have to tell you. And Spirit says, again, transformation to help you, like again, and I believe it's about forgiveness. And then a sacred space, create and cleanse a tranquil area for reflection. So Spirit's saying, it's like, if you're still blocked on this because how this person was, that then you should, like, you need more healing, because you knew that this person was connected to somebody. Just because that they said that they were out of it, your intuition knew from how they were. So Spirit's saying, it's like, you're getting mad at their process. You're mad at their process. And if you do that, that's going to create intimacy issues. So it's, again, you would feel that way because, again, they should have been able to rise up. As Spirit says, if you were fully in your energy, you wouldn't feel that way. You'd be like, well, they were supposed to be here for me. And Spirit says, for what? It's like, weren't you supposed to be working on your own shit? Spirit's saying, I think you need to, like, again, do a little meditation on that. Because I can see how, like, some people would be like, well, I feel like they should have been able to handle it. If you were my person, you would have done the right thing. And Spirit's saying, yes, in a perfect Disney World movie, that's the way that it plays out. But people are real. And it doesn't mean that this person doesn't bring anything else to the table. Again, connect to the safe, sacred place within yourself. Again, says it again. When I was like, well, what if I pull another one? Spirit saying, it's going to say the same thing. Inner sanctuary, go inside and do the reflection work. You need to do the reflection work because that may be a block that needs to be transformed. So if you're like, I don't forgive this person because they should have handled it a different way. But Spirit says, well, if it's a real twin flame, you're not going to feel that way either. You'll say, like, I don't like the way that you handled it, but I'm not going to, like, risk the connection to be in it. However, you're going to get boundaries. And, like, I'm going to make sure that, when situations arise, that we speak through them. This person had a hard time. They felt embarrassed. I have someone controlling my life and I don't know how to get out of it. That sounds like it's bullshit, to be honest with you. What, I get overstimulated and I don't trust myself because this person trips me up where I can't think and confuses me. And then I feel guilty and then I don't know what to do. It's like you'd feel like, well, if you love me enough, and Spirit says, not if the person's frozen, stuck and stupid. It's like, now you're being unrealistic. It's like, well, then I don't want to be with that person. Then Spirit says, then you don't want to be with that person. So it's again, but then that wouldn't be that person's fault. It's like I said, it's that they got overstimulated. Spirit says, find your balance in the situation, because it's showing that you're not balanced. Where find balance between each sphere of your own life, Spirit's saying. Because if you, again, are not balanced, it means that there's areas of your life that aren't being fulfilled, which you were looking for this person. Well, you needed to be here. And Spirit says, no, you don't need anything outside of yourself. Know that you are the master of your daily life. Make time to nourish your own spirit and physical. Bring love to your own world by fulfilling the needs of your own body and soul. And Spirit says, that's again confirming, like, this is more about you than it is about this person, how they reacted. It's like you need to heal those things, because really it's like this person's coming back and they're going to apologize and they're going to explain, like, but it's going to look weird. It's going to be like, well, you still should have been here, and this person already feels bad about it. And so Spirit's saying this is all about merciless forgiveness. Can you do it or can't you? It's one of the biggest spiritual, it's the biggest spiritual lesson that every single religion talks about. It's what all the spiritual masters talk about, forgiveness and letting it go. And for this person, I feel like that you're connected to, they need to learn to forgive themselves, because they don't like that part of themselves. They're like, it never always gets in the way. I hate myself, this and that. They need to, again, accept themselves and forgive themselves, because as long as they stay in that, they're always going to stay insecure, because they have to master that sensitivity. And they can do that. They can do it by training their nervous system. And for you, you're gonna, like, again, be patient with this person. Are you allowed? Can you forgive them for what they did? You know, it's not such a tall order, like, depending on what you went through. But Spirit's saying, if it's unconditional love, you'll be able to do it. It's like, because that's what you're learning, the lessons. It has to be a big deal. Like, it was a big deal that they weren't there. It was a big deal that they sat there and they gave that. And Spirit says, of course it was. The lesson was forgiveness. They didn't steal a Tic Tac. Who cares about the Tic Tac? It has to be a big deal. And Spirit's saying they're going to come to you vulnerable. This is your choice. Can you do it? Can you rise above it? Can you transcend? It's, again, for this, it looks like you're going to do it, but you're going to have a real hard time doing it. Because Spirit's like, go back into reflection, go back into reflection, go back into healing. And remember, you still have to train this person. So part of that is that they'll never be able to do it again. They'll never want to do it again. And that's the difference. Where before they didn't care. They weren't paying attention. They were more stuck and scared over that person, over that crazy person, that karmic. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Hello, Janine and Jay and Doris and Laura's. And I hope that answered your question, Vinya. And for all you, thank you for sharing your energy with me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.